Imagine a world where your smartphone wasn't just a phone, but a fully functional, portable television. No, I'm not talking about streaming Netflix on a tiny screen. I mean a device that could tune into live broadcasts, record shows, and even project them onto a wall, all while fitting in your pocket. Sounds like futuristic sci-fi, right? What if I told you this technology not only existed, but was poised to explode onto the market, promised to revolutionize personal entertainment, only to vanish almost entirely without a trace? Why did tech giants pour millions into developing TV phones that seem to have it all, only for them to become a forgotten footnote in technological history? To understand this strange tech anomaly, we need to rewind to the very early 2000s, a period brimming with optimism and radical innovation in mobile technology. The idea of convergence was king. People wanted one device to do everything, and watching live television on the go seemed like the ultimate convenience. Before iPhones made smartphones ubiquitous, the mobile phone landscape was a wild west of flip phones, candy bars, and experimental devices. Companies like Samsung, LG, Nokia, and even Sanyo were fiercely competing to define the future of mobile. The concept of the TV phone wasn't just a niche idea, it was seen as the next major leap, a logical evolution of personal electronics. These weren't simply phones with internet access to stream content, they incorporated dedicated tuners, often DVB-H, digital video broadcasting, handheld, or later DMB, digital multimedia broadcasting, chips, designed to receive actual broadcast television signals, much like a miniature portable TV. The promise was immense. Never miss a live sporting event, catch the news whenever, wherever, all from a device you already carried. Advertising campaigns showed sleek, modern individuals watching crystal clear broadcasts on their commute, in coffee shops, or while waiting for friends. It was portrayed not as a luxury, but as an impending necessity. Early models, though clunky by today's standards, truly demonstrated the technology. Imagine holding a phone with a small telescopic antenna, flipping it open to reveal a surprisingly decent color screen, and tuning into BBC or CNN with shocking clarity. The raw technology was there and it worked. The stage was set for a revolution that, mysteriously, never came. But then something started to shift. Despite the initial buzz and significant R&D investment, the TV phone juggernaut began to sputter. The year 2007 saw the launch of the original iPhone, a device that redefined the smartphone and, indirectly, the entire mobile industry. Yet, even in this era of rapid change, the concept of a TV phone persisted. Companies like Samsung and LG continued to release models like the Samsung P900 or the LG U960, devices that integrated cutting-edge DVB-H or DMB tuners directly into their designs. Nokia, a dominant force in mobile at the time, also championed the technology with their N92, a phone explicitly designed as a multimedia powerhouse with a swivel screen optimized for TV viewing. The marketing wasn't subtle. These phones were sold on the premise of live mobile TV being a game changer. They featured dedicated TV buttons, advanced recording capabilities, and even picture-in-picture functionalities that seem futuristic even now. Why then did these technologically advanced devices, backed by such immense corporate belief and marketing muscle, fail to gain traction? The answer is a complex web of technical limitations, strategic missteps, and fundamental misunderstandings of consumer behavior. The DVB-H standard, for instance, required significant infrastructure rollout, necessitating broadcasters to invest in new transmission facilities and dedicate spectrum. This was a costly and slow process, meaning that even if you owned a TV phone, the actual number of channels available and the coverage areas were often incredibly limited. Imagine buying a cutting-edge device only to find you could only watch 2 channels, and only when you were in specific urban zones. The content problem was a massive hurdle. Traditional broadcasters were often hesitant to embrace mobile-specific content strategies, and getting licensing agreements for terrestrial channels to be rebroadcast on a mobile platform proved incredibly complex and expensive. Furthermore, network operators, who historically controlled content distribution for mobile, were often reluctant to cede control to a technology that bypassed their own data networks entirely. They saw it as a threat to their burgeoning data plans, which were increasingly becoming a major revenue stream. Why would they promote a device that allowed users to watch unlimited TV without consuming any of their precious mobile data, thus reducing their ARPU, average revenue per user, for data services? What they discovered next changed everything. The technical and commercial flaws began to compound, creating a perfect storm that sank the TV phone before it could truly set sail. Beyond the infrastructure and content issues, the user experience itself often left much to be desired. Early TV phones, despite their groundbreaking features, often suffered from poor battery life. Tuning into live broadcasts, especially in areas with weaker signals, was a significant draw on power, frequently leaving users with a dead battery after just an hour or two of viewing. Reception quality was also highly variable. A slight shift in position or moving indoors could instantly degrade the picture, turning a crisp broadcast into a pixelated mess, or worse, a complete signal loss. The antennas, whether internal or external, were often cumbersome or delicate. The screens, while impressive for their time, were small by modern standards, typically 2 to 3 inches, making extended viewing a strain for many. Then there was the cost. These phones were often positioned as premium devices, commanding higher price points than standard phones, making them less accessible to the average consumer. The telco business model also played a critical role in their demise. Instead of being an open broadcast, carriers often wanted to charge a subscription fee for the TV service, adding another layer of cost and friction for consumers. This fragmented approach, with different carriers supporting different standards and offering varying channel packages, created a confusing and frustrating ecosystem. The market was asking for simplicity and ease of use. The TV phone offered complexity and additional charges. Concurrently, the rise of 3G and eventually 4G networks began to make mobile streaming viable. While not true live broadcast, services like YouTube and later dedicated streaming apps offered on-demand content with far greater flexibility and a wider selection. Consumers, it turns out, preferred on-demand content that they could watch anytime, anywhere, at their convenience, over a limited selection of live broadcast channels tied to specific reception areas and subscription models. The freedom of choice and the rich, ever-expanding libraries of streaming services quickly overshadowed the niche appeal of live terrestrial TV on a tiny screen. The iPhone, with its focus on apps, intuitive interface, and powerful internet capabilities, effectively signaled the death knell for the TV phone. It showed that the future was in connected content, not broadcast. To this day, we may never know the full extent of market forces and strategic blunders that led to the quiet abandonment of TV phones. Was it a fundamental misjudgment of consumer interest? Or perhaps a technology that was simply ahead of its time, hindered by the limitations of infrastructure and battery technology? The TV phone, a concept once hailed as the future of mobile entertainment, now stands as a stark reminder of technological roads not taken. It serves as a fascinating case study in how even promising innovations, backed by immense investment, can fail when they clash with market realities, existing business models, and evolving consumer preferences. Its legacy isn't one of success, but of lessons learned, paving the way for the streaming-centric mobile world we inhabit today. The desire for mobile video didn't disappear. It simply evolved into a different, arguably more practical, form. Perhaps one day, a truly seamless, universal mobile broadcast experience will emerge. But for now, the TV phone remains a ghost in the machine, a forgotten dream of a different mobile future. If you want more mysteries like this, the next video explores the perplexing story behind the Internet of Things, failed promises, and why our smart homes still aren't truly smart.